Good morning, everyone. This is Keith Walter, and I'm your host here at the computer with Mike and Nan out in the field. Today's agenda is we're going to take a quick look back at the Village BBQ. We've got Mike with 3 updates today from the park. Nan is going to be talking with Tom over in the demonstration garden. And then we've got some village news and upcoming events to talk about. So without further ado, let me see if we can get our video here to work. Hopefully, most of you know that FOBEC is a volunteer organization, and the barbecue is our largest fundraiser of the year. Fortunately, we were able to sell it out. I think everyone I talked to had a wonderful time, and I just want to make special mention of the fact that for the 3rd year in a row, we've done our Spirit of the Village Award, this year going to Teri, Riave, and Cherie Lovas for, as this document says, their unending passion and dedication to Fair Oaks Village. It's a great event, and if you didn't make it this year, I certainly hope you'll join us next year. And with that,
Yeah,
Mike,
well,
if you're
real quick,
ready.
I just wanted to share that Cherie and Teri are sisters. That's why they're the dynamic duo, because they work together on a lot of projects.
Thanks, Dan. And so, Mike, if you're ready, we'll cut it over to you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm over here at the Community Clubhouse, and I'm in the basement, the Village Hall, and this is where we'll be holding board meetings and kind of governance areas and governance meetings, different board meetings. It's not going to be a programmable space, but it's going to be used for primarily meetings. And what I wanted to show, a couple of things that's happened out here is kind of fun. If you've seen this room before, you would have noticed stacks and stacks and stacks of boxes. Just a variety of different things, most ancillary type of things for the facility that just need to be installed, wired, and all those kinds of things. There's a stack of the leftover boxes there. And within this facility, we have a variety of things that are going to help us with our productions of meetings. And so I'm walking toward one of the cameras up in the ceiling there, and we have 2 of those. We have a directional mic there that picks up the audio. And so with those cameras and that microphone, it makes our production possibilities here very versatile. And it gives us some opportunities to do things that are good. And I'm looking at the TV screen here, or the display screen that we'll have. We have one on this side of the room, and we'll have one on that side of the room. It's not installed because of the vent above those panels there. So we're going to have one that's mounted on a movable rack, TV that'll be movable rack instead of on the wall, so we don't block the AC here. Anyway, it's kind of nice. The board will be able to see what's on the screen, and we'll also be able to pivot it around so it goes over to the public side so they can see what's happening within our facility. So kind of nice touches down here for those display screens in the Village Hall. and to really make this space more usable and more conducive to governance type of programmings that we will do. As mentioned before, we're down here with the bathrooms. These are public facing bathrooms down here. And then the stairs that are going to go upstairs. Now, these stairs are not connecting to both facilities for general public use. We do use them for service and maintenance. So they're really two separate buildings or rooms that are not interconnected, which is good when we're doing governance stuff. I'm going into the kitchen here, the upstairs kitchen. Go around the other way. And I'll give you an update on that. We've got maintenance coming in and making our refrigerators, our ice makers, and everything run. So we're ready when we open. Making ice right now, which is great. I have to do a couple bins of that and then toss it because of the cleaner. Stoves are all hooked up. Refrigerator's running. And the dishwasher's still getting some work on it, but for the most part, it's running and ready to go. So this area of the kitchen, which services the clubhouse itself upstairs, is all done and ready to go. As I've said before, underneath this brownish, tannish floor covering is a beautiful wood floor that's been refurbished. So it's absolutely gorgeous underneath here. I kind of can't wait to get this paper off. But this blue thing here, it is the lift that goes up to the stage. That blue comes off. It's just protecting the glass. It's clear glass there. And so this is the lift in its up position. That's a big deal to have that lift in there. So we have the stage accessible for all people and still retain the stage. And so that was, again, paid for by Senator Ami Bera and with the House appropriation funds from 2024. So nice to be able to have that funds. And here's the access or the leave from the lift. So you can see that's where the participant would ride up and come out and then just head up on the stage. So even if they're not using a chair, if you just stairs are a challenge or whatever, it allows you to be able to access the lift. I want to show you something kind of fun I was messing around with the other day. This is our audio and visual rack, and there's a Bluetooth connector here. I figured it out, and I can play music in this room from my phone. So I kind of like messing around with it and seeing that happen. So it has, again, a lot of versatility up here for meetings, for weddings, for any kind of gathering, and also for classes. So with that, Keith, I will turn it back.
Thank you very much, Mike. Let me switch back here for just a moment, talk a little bit about some of the news that's taking place in the village. Mike, obviously very proud of the enhancements to the theater. One of the downsides of the long delay is that after 40 years of service to the community, the Fair Oaks Theater Festival has unfortunately brought down the curtain on that organization. So we certainly appreciate their years and years of service and all of the work that they did to keep the amphitheater operational and bring us, both comedy and theater through the years. And look forward to finding a replacement for them and having, amateur theater continue to be supported in the community. In similar nature, Bad Fish Coffee, which is a relative newcomer to the community, has also closed their doors, which is, of course, sad for them. They were a great addition. But the great news is that Old Soul, which is a well-loved coffee shop based out of Sacramento, is going to be taking their place. And they're targeting either late this month or early September to move into the old location occupied by Bad Fish. So I hope everyone will come out and welcome them to the village and that they'll have a long and successful run here. And last but not least for this segment of our village news, the Chamber wanted to remind everyone that the Honorary Mayor campaign is in full swing through the end of September. We've got two candidates this year, Heather Ford and Noah Wright, which is a rematch of their parents about 5 years ago. when Jim Crawley and Keith Wright ran for mayor. And once again, the candidates, in addition to raising money for the chamber, will be raising money for the Fair Oaks Rotary Foundation and the Orangevale Fair Oaks Community Foundation, which runs the food bank in our area, two very worthwhile causes. Nan, are you ready to talk to us about Tom and what's going on over across the street?
Yep, we're all ready here. Thanks so much, Keith. I'm here, Nan Danford, here at the no barking lot, which I'm sure all of you have seen on the corner of Sunrise and Fair Oaks Boulevard. This lot, as you know, has been vacant for a very long time. And I'm here with Tom Beauchamp and Eric Sider. Yes, hello, Fair Oaks. This lot, unbeknownst to me, it's like 3/4 of an acre. I thought it was just where the sign is and up the hill, but it's not. It's quite a lot bigger. So I'm here talking with Tom initially. He's going to explain to us what's going on with this wall that you see behind us that you may have been seeing being constructed recently. Tom, what's the deal with this?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a harebrained idea that grew over time. I had initially, when I was launching the Weekender magazine, done a wall pre-COVID. That was a mural that said Weekender magazine. People probably remember that. COVID happened, and then the lot again kind of sat vacant, and a little bit of a blight in terms of something that, you know, is central to Fair Oaks, but not necessarily, you know, what it could be. And so I kind of had the idea, why don't we somehow activate the space and also try to promote businesses in Fair Oaks, because there's this, you know, amazing village, but people drive by, they don't even know it's there sometimes. So how could we kind of activate the space, do something fun for the community, and also promote businesses? So I thought, why don't we use art as kind of that connective thread between community and commerce. And so instead of going small, we just decided to go big, and that just kind of lit the flame a little bit. And I thought, okay, well, why don't we just not only think about the wall, but potentially use the entire space. And so through the generosity of the owners of the lot, Dave and Madonna Polly, who have graciously really allowed us to kind of work on this project. I brought in community partners, SMUD, Green Acres, Hasties, Lawson Mechanical, and actually met Eric through kind of some of the community outreach stuff and the vibes in the village. And then I thought, you know, why don't we activate the lot that's got kind of arable land on it, and just talking with Eric, knowing what he's doing with resilient community stuff and permaculture, brought him in. And that really kind of expanded it even more in terms of the vision of what it could be for the community. So that's kind of
that's so cool.
In a nutshell.
Exactly is going to happen on this wall here behind us.
So the 12 by 24 foot space is really kind of an active mural wall. There's going to be 3 murals a year that happen. So people may get attached to the first one, but then soon enough, that's going to be painted over. So it really is about promoting artists. It's about keeping the space vital. It's, you know, guest artists, local artists. So we've kind of got that lineup, working with Wide Open Walls, who does a lot of murals down in Midtown and downtown. So yeah, it's going to be a fun space. And then it's supported by local businesses who want to contribute and have their logo on the wall.
So there'll be some ad space as well as art?
It's more sponsorship logo space versus advertising. We did approach the county with the idea, knowing that it was kind of getting to be a big scope, and they love the idea.
Cool.
They do. They see it. Yeah.
So when do you anticipate the first art mural will be done?
Within a couple of weeks.
Within a couple of weeks. That's really great news.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
really good.
It should be cool.
Awesome. Well, I think that's fabulous news, and hopefully we'll bring more attention to the village.
To the village, and yeah.
Having had a business there, I know that every day we had people come in and go, oh, I never knew this place was here. One block off, 80,000 cars a day. So, that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So
So I want to talk with Eric now to kind of get you an idea of what's going on with this permaculture garden. So let's head over that way.
All
okay,
right.
Eric?
Sounds good.
So there, as I mentioned before, this property is really like 3/4 of an acre. And so the wall that Tom's doing takes, not that much space. And the rest of the space has just been open and unused and kind of wild. And I think Eric has got some great visions for us. So why don't you there's a look at it right now. And then Eric, why don't you tell us what's going on here
Yeah, so
and a little bit about permaculture.
sure. So permaculture is a design system to create sustainable human environments. And primarily we focus on perennials, plants like fruit trees, berry bushes, things that will grow back each year without you needing to plant them rather than annual plants. I mean, we all love our veggie gardens, but if you don't plant them the next year, they're not going to grow. And the real way to create food security and sustainability is to have the village and your area and your neighborhoods all just with food that grows on its own without you having to do much. And so that's what this is a demonstration of. It's a food forest, which is a way to grow food for humans that uses the structure of a forest. So all forests, at least 7 layers, from the top tallest trees down to the roots in the ground. So we have fruit trees, we have berry bushes, we have herbaceous plants, we have sweet potatoes. And in the first 3 to 5 years, as the fruit trees are getting bigger, you have a lot of open space so you can grow your annual veggies in the meantime. Like we have giant pumpkin, we have sunflower, which the sunflowers are probably the star performer at the moment. They're actually taller than most of the fruit trees.
They're beautiful.
And so the idea is the lot is a very awkward lot to have people come in any kind of regular fashion, but it gets a tremendous amount of attention every day. So we want this to be a demonstration of what's possible with permaculture design systems, and hopefully these can propagate out in the village and surrounding areas. So if there's open lots you have or you know of, we'd love to make more of these and definitely have a more permanent place to showcase and teach people.
So I imagine you're getting a lot of attention and probably inquiries of what you're doing here, and it looks to me like what kind of trees do you have? I see a fig. I see it looks like a peach back there. What else have you got going on?
Yeah,
here? Citrus, maybe?
We have quite a mishmash of fruit trees. Most of them all came in from donations. Thanks to Tom and his diligent effort and professional begging, we got a lot of great community sponsors. So we have figs, pomegranates, mulberries, feijoa. We have some pear trees, some peaches and plums, and lots of, we got blueberries and raspberries, and everything was planted this past May for the big day of service. So a bit late in the year from how I would normally do it. So some things got a little scorched in the sun, and they're got taken out to recover for the fall. So if I had an ideal strategy, it would be planted in the late winter and very, very early spring to take advantage of the rains. And that gives the trees a much better establishment before the hot summer comes in.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can get a little better idea of what the garden looks like. So here we go. So as you can see here, we've got some beautiful sunflowers that are growing. Here's a little fig tree right here. And if you look back there, I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a little bit closer. But the peach tree that they planted actually has peaches on it this year, which is amazing, having it been its first year being planted. Look at that. So what they really do here, and I think it is so cool, is they, as Eric said, it's sustainable. And as I understand it, it's kind of like self-regenerating. So eventually you don't need water and fertilizer or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, eventually that's also how we've designed it. So we've designed the beds so they're on contour. So the trenches are all on the same level. So when we do get the rains, instead of it running off into the street, into the river, into the ocean, it gets held here and then soaks slowly into the soil. So that's how over enough time, the trees will send their roots down deeper, and eventually you can either reduce or turn off the irrigation completely.
That's really amazing. So it's a fabulous project that Tom has initiated and Eric has partnered with him on, and the whole community is getting involved. And so when you're driving down Sunrise, take a look. If you're going towards the freeway, it's on your right. If you're headed up north, it's on your left. And watch the transformation, and we'll look forward to the art wall here at the no barking lot. Back to you, Keith.
Nan and Tom and Eric, thank you for that. It's really exciting to see everything that's going on in Fair Oaks these days. And, you know, obviously all of us at FOVAC and this broadcast love the village, but I think it's exciting that the village is getting noticed outside of our immediate group. And so I want to talk just a little bit about Comstock. So let me just swap here for a moment. And if you're not familiar, Comstocks is a local business magazine. It's kind of the go-to business magazine in the Sacramento region. And August, Fair Oaks is featured as one of their main articles in this month's magazine. And this, what should be on your screen right now, is just a snapshot of the two-page spread that introduces the Fair Oaks Village. They're titled Big Dreams. It talks all about the amphitheater renovations that are taking place. It talks about some of the new businesses. And I was struck because they've done this very stylized map of Fair Oaks Village and put together, you know, a collection of shops in the area. And as someone who's been in this region for about 14 years now, I was struck as I was looking at this that, you know, Fair Oaks is the perfect example of where old and new are blending seamlessly. You've got Stockman's, which I think of as having been around forever and kind of the quintessential bar that everyone knows your name, to the Slocum House, which was a landmark here for many years, sat isolated and quite frankly, a homeless area for a period of time before it was renovated by Gary and Way. And they're already talking about reopening soon, which is incredibly exciting. You know, going around this loop, we've got some wonderful, quaint businesses that are kind of small businesses like William Charles, which has also been here forever, to the Violet Spa, which is brand new, as is the Ladybird. So there's a lot happening in Fair Oaks, and these broadcasts are really just an opportunity to try and keep the community updated, because sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. A little bit more news just to keep everyone up to date. Rotary, which is one of the active volunteer groups in this area, is partnering with Metro Fire to install AEDs, automatic defibrillators. And they're looking for locations where these can be made available to the public 24/7. Ideally, these are spots which are often used by children or seniors. They need to have power because these devices need to be charged consistently. And so if you have suggestions about where to locate these, please let me or anyone at FOVAC know, and we'll pass that along and make sure that they get placed in the right places around the community. The other piece of information that I think the community needs to be aware of is that the park is getting ever closer to being open, and with that means that we need to get the roads around the park taken care of. I heard recently that the county is planning to begin their paving effort to coincide with, to complement the park's paving around the park starting on September 22nd. Don't have a completed finish date for that yet, but I'm sure they will be announcing more, and we'll seek to get county input on the details and get that to you shortly. The other one that's really exciting is that this is the 130th year of the founding of Fair Oaks, and it's the 50th year of the founding of the Historical Society. And they are planning a huge celebration to make all of this much more visible and fun for the community. And the current date for that is October 25th. And you can watch for ticket sales to go on sale soon. This is one of their newsletter recent announcements talking about the details. A free event at noon in front of the clubhouse, including bagpipes and raising of the flag. There will be family activities in the afternoon. And that evening, there will be a gala celebration, and tickets will go on sale for that shortly. Again, watch for details. And with that, Mike, are you ready to talk to us a little bit more about what's going on in the park?
Yes, I am, Keith. Hey, I'm out here in the park right now. I'm actually standing behind the new bathrooms. I wanted to show you a little bit about the two different types of grass that we have being installed in the facility right now in the parks. We have a standard type of grass, and then we have a low-mow or a no-mow type of grass in certain areas. It takes less resources in terms of mowing, watering, things like that. It looks good. It's a little different than just our traditional turf, but it's the right thing to do for the environment. And so I'm glad we're doing it. And I think everybody will be okay with it once you kind of get used to it. Like I said, it's just a little bit different. So here's the dichotomy of them, if you will. Right here, this green grass just got mowed just a couple minutes ago. And then right next to it, you can see a little bit of the unruliness of the no-mow or low-mow type of grass. And that's just in certain places. We don't have too many of them where they interface this tightly with each other, but we do right here. And this is right by the playground. I'm going to just pan over here to the playground to show you kind of a location where we're at. As mentioned, we're getting really close to opening. We're looking at the end of September right now. It may or may not change depending on some things that are happening with our inspections. And I want to show a little bit of diversity in terms of the landscaping. We've got these bigger boulders, the smaller cobble, and then the plants intermixed here alongside the playground. And then over here, just the bark or the mulch, and then the plantings. So kind of a variety right here, just in this one spot. As I mentioned, they're mowing right now, and so everything looks great. We have to maintain this stuff, obviously, before we open. So it's kind of fun to see that. And you know what's really fun is actually coming into this park and smelling the fresh cut grass. I've been so used to smelling dust and dirt that it's nice to come in here and smell fresh cut grass in a park. And so it's looking very good in terms of the looks of the grass. Here's the amphitheater, or the amphitheater stage, excuse me, the bandshell stage with some landscaping in front of it. This vacant spot right here will be cobble that we'll be putting in here shortly. We've got a bunch of cobble work to do. I do want to talk about the cobble work because it's important for us to have maintained the look and some of the attributes of the facility, including the WPA wall. And you'll see these stairs here. These were here and cobbled long before our renovation. And you see this beautiful green grass. Well, it's actually artificial turf. So don't get fooled by that. But this area was hard to maintain turf on. And so we decided to go ahead and put artificial turf in. And it's a great place to sit down and just kind of enjoy the park itself. I've sat here and listened to concerts, even though the speakers go the other way. But it's kind of a nice place to sit and visit. Up here above it, you can see we've landscaped that, got a variety of different plants in there, including some flowering ones. And then here's the cobble, some more cobble that we're doing. We're doing some infill here on cobble. And then there's a lot of cobble going around the facility in different places. I'm not going to show them all, but I want to show you one of the piles of cobble that we have that we're using to put in the different places. So there's a pile of cobble there right near the bark that we have. And it's going in different places around the facility. I'm going to walk around the front of the park here and just kind of give you a view of what's happening here in the landscaping, kind of our front door, if you will, of the facility and the clubhouse, and what we hope people really kind of embrace as we go along here. You see them out there mowing right now. And so it's It's nice. I'm going to hustle through here so I don't get in his way. But this is that green grass that we talked about. And this out here is the no-mow or low-mow type of grass that will be up here in the dirt too. We're just waiting for some more sod to come in on that. There's the view of the clubhouse from the grass area. I'm going to keep moving here. Stay in front of the mower. Some more different plants and stuff in front of the clubhouse. You can see a lot of the landscaping is done. We're getting awful close here to be able to open up. Like I mentioned, we got some ancillary things to do, more like plugging things in, installing paper towel dispensers, things like that. Plus, we have some major work as well. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. We've still got some major work to do, but we also, the vast majority now is these ancillary or minor type of projects that we've got to finish up so we can get open. Some of them had to do with materials. Some of them had to do with labor availability, just a variety of different reasons why they didn't all get done. Here you can see them installing the rails over here on the patio area. And I just wanted to get into the front of the park so you can kind of see what's happening up there in the front. As we're planting and doing all of the turf and finishing the irrigation, we moved from the side of the park on Temescal Street over to Fair Oaks Boulevard. And right now we're over at we're about just over the crest of the hill, getting real close to the amphitheater. And you can see the guys digging in here and putting in landscaping here. We've got all the irrigation in this area here done. And so that's getting done. We got some of the plantings in here in front of the plaza stage done. They're working over there on the irrigation. Yeah, on the irrigation, it looks like. And then here is that center part that's going to be turf grass or the green grass. And it's going to be placed on top of this sand, the gray stuff that's covering the black stuff. And the black stuff, the sand fills in. There's about 2 inches of sand below it too. But the sand fills in these little egg crate things. And then the turf goes over the top of it. And that turf then has a lot of resilience for events and activities. I've talked about it before, but now you're starting to see it get installed and a little bit further along. Definitely within the next week or so, this will be all turfed up and should look pretty good. All the irrigation's in place here and all of the irrigation's in place on this side. And we're just working on the cobble and some additional stuff. And with that, I will turn it back.
Sorry, thank you, Mike. So obviously lots going on. And with that, I just want to take a moment and talk to you a little bit about what's going on from a scheduling perspective, because often on these events, what we'll do is we'll run through everything that's happening. And when we began this broadcast over 3 years ago, that was a pretty easy activity because in any given month, the number of things actually happening was relatively modest. But this particular snapshot of the week that we're currently in highlights that if you just look at Thursday evening, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things all taking place Thursday evening in and around Fair Oaks Village. And so trying to list all of those out in this no longer really makes sense. So I'm going to just do a little quick tutorial. I'm going to use this to click into, and hopefully this will all pop up correctly on your screen, and it will work with my very slow internet today, and take you to the FOVAC website, because there's a lot of great information here. Obviously, the upcoming events that you can register for, but up here at the top, you'll see calendar, and if we click on that, what will populate is everything that's taking place in and around Fair Oaks Village. This is a community calendar. Anyone is welcome to send information to FOVAC, and we'll post it here for events that are taking place in and around the village. And on these, you can click into any one of them for more information. So for example, on Thursday, there's something called the Borgen Project, which I think probably most of us had not been familiar with. And it gives you more information. It gives you who's creating it. It goes You can add it to your calendar. You can go click through for more information. And this is true for all of the events that are here. And it makes it very easy to add these things to your calendar, pick and choose the things that are important to you, and in many cases, directly register or ticket where that's appropriate. And so I just wanted to take a moment and say, we could read all of this to you, but you'd forget it the moment that I'm finished. And I hope that you'll bookmark the calendar online. And when you have a question, that you won't hesitate to go there. And when you have an event, you'll send it to us so that we can share it with the rest of the community. And Mike, have you got a chance to get back and talk about the amphitheater? And just waiting to see if Mike is ready. You're still on mute, Mike.
Well, hey, Keith, thanks. Yeah, I'm inside the amphitheater building here, and just wanted to show you a few things that's happened in here, kind of neat things. This is the stage for the amphitheater itself, and when we close the main doors, it is the black box theater. And if you'll see that white mound up there on the roof or on the ceiling, that is the camera for the giant screen that is tucked in up there. I've seen it work. It's incredible. So it really provides some unique opportunities for productions and stuff here in the facility. And it's just a great asset to it. I was out here 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, and they were testing the exterior sound system, and it was unbelievable how good it was and how clear it was. And so it really was impressive for folks, I think, to have that type of audio. And as we go along, though, I'm here inside the backstage now, kind of walking through where we keep our portable stage and our extra chairs and stuff for the black box. They're still doing some work in here. Just kind of some touch up. I'm in the lobby now. It really is just this touch up in here, doing some painting work. You can see the blue tape there, areas that we've got to touch up still. They'll be doing some cleaning and stuff as we get closer and closer, clean the floors up and things like that. Again, mostly finishing touches. So there's kind of the stage. The floor still needs to be installed. That's going to happen here this week. I should have an update Thursday, tomorrow on that, and if it's actually happening Thursday or not. And I'm just stepping out here to kind of get a quick view of the seats. 400 and plus seats here in the amphitheater now, and it's down from just over 500 is what we had in the past. And they're in. The lighting's installed, and we're just waiting for the final inspection on it, and hopefully it'll all go good. Just in terms of inspections, and so some of our challenges are out here. This facility has 22 permits. All 22 permits have to be signed off on before we get occupancy. It's everything from ADA to some electrical to fire, just a variety of different things. And so those are the things we're up against, trying to get those inspections, all of them to pass. I had mentioned earlier that we're delayed, and we are delayed because we did a preliminary inspection on some ADA work, and it was pointed out to us that we needed to make some modifications to what's called our path of travel from the ADA parking spots up here by the clubhouse into the clubhouse. So those modifications have to be made before we can even open. And it's nice to be able to get that early indication. It only delayed us a couple of weeks by it. So it was kind of a nice thing to have. I am stepping up here to where the issue was, so you kind of get an idea. Not an extensive issue, but a little time consuming in terms of getting it completed, because we have to fabricate the railings that we'll need to have in here. So I'm in the parking lot for the Arts and Crafts building, and behind the white truck there are the 2 ADA parking spots for the clubhouse. And so they have to cross right where the front tires of that truck are, up in here to the cut, and then parallel along here to the ramp. And where these orange cones are, approximately, there'll be a railing because you have to have a separation between the driveway and the ADA walkway. So we're getting that railing that'll go along here fabricated and then installed, and then patching up those cuts that we had to make. And that's more for elevation than anything else. to get the elevations to match up. So, and then right here where I'm standing, you can see we got a utility box here just off of the pathway. That utility box has to have accessibility for SMUD, Sacramento Municipal Power District, or whatever it's called. Anyway, what SMUD? And so we have to have a gate that'll open and allow them in to get into that. So that was the delay. Doesn't sound like much, but when you're doing work like this, it does take some time. And we had to get that design reapproved from the county, which they were very quick at and did that for us graciously. So I appreciate their willingness to work with us and keep the project moving forward. I know it's a priority for Supervisor Desmond as well as for the community of Fair Oaks and for the board of directors here in Fair Oaks. So Keith, I am done.
Mike, thanks again for that. It's great to see all the progress, and I know everyone is excited to get in there and start using the beautiful new facility. I know personally it looks wonderful, and I can't wait to attend my first event there. Switching gears, around the park are a lot of wonderful merchants. Fair Oaks Village is populated by literally dozens and dozens of small businesses. And I think it's easy for people to drive by, or especially if they're going by on sunrise and not have any idea how many wonderful retailers and merchants and restaurants and hair salons we have in our little community. And so FOBAC tries to create a platform where if you have information that you want to get out to the community or know about specials, we make it easy for you to do that. In past programs, we've tried to list all of this out individually. And once again, because we're getting a little bit bigger, a little bit busier, I want to just take a moment and recognize that we've put together a website where all of this is readily available to any of you anytime during the month. So you don't have to wait until our next live update to figure out what's going on. So I'm showing you a snapshot from our monthly Village special page, but I want to take you back to the website for just a moment here and show you exactly where you can find this. If you recall before, I showed you how the calendar will bring up all of the events. There's something over here called the Village Guide. In the Village Guide, down here, you can click on a variety of different categories. It'll give you all the businesses that are in these particular categories and information about how to contact them and where they're located. And up here at the very top under the menu, we feature this monthly Village specials. And this month, for example, Lyra Boutique has an end of summer sale where they're offering many of their items 40% off. And that's going to start on the 8th. And Bob's Cycle Center, which has been a huge supporter of FOBAC for many years, is celebrating their 50th year in business this year. And they've got some great specials all year long. So please go check them out. And so with that, let me flip back over here and talk a little bit about how we continue to survive as an organization. Obviously, we count on our members, we count on our sponsors, and we count on our fundraisers. One of the things where I want to talk about membership, we are entirely a volunteer-driven group. There are no paid employees. And so we count on you to get involved and help us with events like these live updates, or finding sponsors, or putting on fundraisers, or working with the county. You can join us as a free member, but we would obviously encourage you to join us as a paid member. And either way, we encourage you to get involved in planning and helping, because whether you're a member or not, you can always volunteer for our projects. Again, online, easy to join, credit cards, cash. We're always happy to have you join us. Sponsorship. We've got 4 different levels, and our sponsors are a huge reason why we were able to do the parking lot, why we were able to bring you these events, why Vibes in the Village existed and brought together people like Tom and Eric, who are now collaborating to beautify the corner there at Fair Oaks and Sunrise. So again, if you haven't discovered it, once again, we try and make sure that all of our wonderful sponsors get recognized. On our website, they're all there. If you want to patronize them, which we would certainly encourage, the information on how to contact them, being able to get to their website, where they're located, learn more about them, all readily available. So I hope that many of you will make the time to do that. In terms of volunteering, we've got lots and lots of things going on, lots of opportunities. So if you're ready to give back, if you've got the time and the talent, we would encourage you, reach out to any of us. We'll help you figure out how to plug in. And last but not least, FOBAC board meetings, and there's one this evening, are always open to the public, as are our committee meetings. We do ask you to let us know you're coming to make sure we've got space. And you don't need to be a member to volunteer or sponsor or engage with any of our events. We're going to be back again on September 3rd, and we hope to see you then. And until then, have a great month. Mike or Nan, anything else that you want to say before we wrap this up? Looks like I caught them both on mute.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, no, I just want to remind, and I know I mentioned it just quickly in passing, but end of September right now is our targeted opening date. So just kind of clarity again. But anyway, thank you, Keith.
Okay. Nan, anything you'd like to share before we get out of here?
Nope, just very exciting what's going on in our village, and looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in a month.